You should read the comments on your forum post. Okay, let's see. The Chainer is both powerful and frustrating to play against. Press spacebar, Matthew. Drastically nerfing Heavy Freeze is fair, but that should be almost the only nerf. It's a massive blow to the IG and should have its impact tested. Maybe I should have said this in the post. I think a lot of people don't actually know this. Like, I think a lot of people actually don't know that you can just jump out of roots. That's just one of those things, like complaining about something instead of just getting good. You know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds not very empathetic, but if you lose to something, the knee-jerk reaction shouldn't be, oh, nerf it, oh man. You know, the reaction should be, okay, what can I do better to actually not lose? You know, I've dueled hundreds of Great Axe players, and I've, you know, lost against a lot of them that are really good. And for me, it's more like, okay, what can I do better? What do I need to change with my armor? You know, if someone roots me, oh, I can just jump out of it. Not, oh man, it's too OP, it's gotta be nerfed. You know, like, the question should be, what can I do better, right? But a lot of players don't even like get there. They don't even like get to the point of like, how can I play better? It's just straight to the forums, you know? Which is, yeah. When a Great Axe player hooks you in, you can roll out of it. Now, if I don't roll out of it, I deserve to die. If I do roll out of it, I deserve to keep playing and living to see another day. But if a Great Axe player hooks me in and I don't roll, and I just let him bash my face in, he should die. Similarly, if I root someone and they don't jump out of it, they deserve to die. So I think it's just another case of they don't understand that there already is a counter to the root, and you don't have to just stand still. You can jump out of it in an iframe, and you're fine. Man, maybe I really should have included that in the post. Well, I think one of the biggest like disconnects is people don't know you can just jump out of it. Because if you just stand in it, yeah, you're gonna die. Like, fucking press spacebar, man, you know? Isn't that a bug, though? I don't know. I assumed it was intended. Like, maybe it is a bug, but I assumed, like, you know, if you have something on the ground and you're in it, and then you jump, you're like when you're in the air, you're like immune to it for a second, so then you could jump out. You have to jump a couple times, you know? If it's not intended, then you could fix that, which would be a buff to Ice Gauntlet. But then if you buff Ice Gauntlet, then I agree it needs a little bit of a nerf. But once again, I think people just don't know that. I do think Ice Gauntlet should be nerfed to some capacity. Now, to me, I think the proper nerf would be to nerf the ultimate ability by, you know, 5, 10%, 20%. See how that goes for a couple weeks. If you need to nerf it again, you maybe nerf the crit damage. See how that goes for a couple weeks. If you need to nerf it again, then you could look at other stuff. But yeah, I kind of agree. If you couldn't jump out of roots, if that's a bug and they fix it, right? Here's the thing. Is it just me, or do I actually think it's kind of cool that you can jump out of roots? And I'm an Ice Golem player saying that. I'm an Ice Golem player saying that. I think it's kind of cool. It's almost like when a Great Axe player hooks you in, it's cool that you can roll out of it. When I root someone, it's cool that they can jump out of it. And if I land an attack while they're jumped, then they're rooted again, and they can try to jump out of it again, but then if I land another, then they have to jump out of it. Like, you know, so it's cool that there's counterplay. I actually like it in a weird way. But yeah, let me just reiterate. If they fix the jump route, then I do think there could be some room for whatever. And yo, Ender, thanks for the $5 dono, man. You're the top dono of the day, man. That's what's happening with Ice Gauntlet and Fire Staff nerf. People genuinely have L2P issues against Ice Gauntlet. Its kill potential comes from Ice Shower. Simply don't walk into it, and you shouldn't really die to IG ever. Dude, this guy, Magazine, is like spot on. Like, the reason Fire Staff was owning in damage is because Pillar of Fire was double hitting, and so if they fix double hit, Fire Staff doesn't even really need a nerf, or if you do nerf it, just slight tweaks. And then with Ice Gauntlet, bro, I do genuinely agree with this as well. If you're losing to Ice Gauntlet, it's more of an L2P thing, bro. Don't run into Ice Shower. If it's on the ground, iframe it. If you get caught in it, just press spacebar. It's so easily counterable. You know, that's why good players aren't getting owned by Ice Gauntlets, all right? Yeah, this guy's spot on. I've made bow spear with light armor since I started playing, but I never complain about other weapons being better than mine. Actually, I enjoy owning meta players. The first days, it felt frustrating getting comboed by ice mages, but over time, there's so many counterplays that make the game fun. Hey, look! We got someone who's just like playing the game, getting owned, swapping up strategy, figuring out a way around, and then owning, right? You can bait Ice Shower easily by running at the mage, making them think you're an idiot, then simply walk around it. Don't actually be an idiot and run into it. Just bait it, walk around it. Bait it, roll through it. You know, if you do get caught, then if I get caught in Ice Shower, I just start sweeping. But at that point, I know I can throw my spear at the mage, knock him back. And he has and that he has to land a heavy freeze on me and potentially 2 to 3 shot me, and it's fun because whoever lands the hit will most likely win the duel. Thorab, you fucking get it, man. You get it. You got owned by something. You found a counter strategy and you kept playing the game. Man, this guy fucking... Yes. To be honest, I personally wouldn't have nerfed Ice Gauntlet at all. Guys, people have asked me what they should do to Ice Gauntlet. I said they should nerf Ice Gauntlet. If you go back in my VODs from like a month ago, people asked me if they should nerf it. I said yes. I said if you're gonna nerf Ice Gauntlet, nerf Ultimate Chill, or maybe Energize Critical, or maybe Critical Frost. Yeah, if you're gonna nerf it, those are the 3 things to look at. So man, this guy just fucking gets it, man. Weapons should feel rewarding and powerful, but that shouldn't mean they have no counterplay. Yeah, so once again, Ice Gauntlet does have counterplay. You can bait Ice Shower, you can use an immunity or a heal or a stun in it, or you can jump out of it. So there's tons of counterplay. Honestly, I think the biggest misconception here is if you get stuck in an ice shower, and you get heavied, everyone's just like, oh, it's over. I disagree. You should... If you're playing Sword and Shield, pull out the Sword and Shield and block. If you're playing a Spear, stun them. If you're playing a Hammer, range, stun them. You know, if you're playing Ice Gauntlet, Ice Block. If you're playing Life Staff, just heal yourself. You'll be fine. If you're playing Hatchet, you could use your Hatchet heal and jump out of it, right? Oh, yeah. If you're playing a Hatchet, you have a Trinket too, right? You can Trinket it if you want. I forgot about that. You can't jump out of the root, though. Yes, you can. There's 0 counterplay when you're rooted. Wait, what? I just gave you like 6 examples. I can say them again if you want. The first one is you can press spacebar and jump out of the root. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. The second one is you can block with a Sword and Shield. The third one is you can ice block it with a Gauntlet. The fourth one is you can Trinket it and press heal with a Hatchet. The fifth one is you can stun it with a Spear. The sixth one is you can stun it ranged with a Great Axe, with a Warhammer. What other weapons are there? I'm pretty sure every weapon has a counter to it. If you're playing a musket, close range, yeah, I think the only thing you could do is jump. But keep in mind, Ice Gauntlet is a close range weapon, and Musket is a really long range weapon. So if you get caught in close proximity with a close range weapon with a musket, yeah, you know. Oh yeah, you could bait it and then just run through it too. Oh yeah, also if you guys didn't know, you can also just roll through Ice Wall. You can, if it's right here, you can just roll through it. If you get caught in it, you can just jump. I watched his YouTube video for a little more on the topic, even though this post is very detailed. He shows just how to counter Ice Gauntlet with absolute ease, and it's laughable. I also think that most players that think these nerfs are good just don't know how to counter Ice Gauntlet. Oh, I can test it here with min-max. If you guys didn't know, you can just jump out of freeze just like that. Now roll through it. And you can also just roll through freeze, just like that. Oh, we got too close to town. Let's do it again, just for people to see. You just jump right out of it. Just like that. Or roll through it. He would have got heavied before the jump. That's not actually true. Like, if I land an ice shower, a good player is going to jump. Meaning, so if I aim right at him and he jumps, I'm going to miss. So I'm going to have to aim off of him, meaning if he doesn't jump, then I miss. So basically, I have to take a gamble where I should aim. If I land this and do that, he's going to jump out of it. I miss my shot. And I don't know if he's going to jump left or right or forward or back. You know, I don't know where he's going to jump. I'm taking a gamble, meaning it's still a skill shot to land. Now, if you land the heavy while they're frozen and they don't jump, then they deserve to die. Or to ice block, or to sword and shield block, or to heal, or to hatchet heal, or to stun you, or to, you know, there's a lot of other counters. But yeah. I mean, yeah, so maybe I should just be giving tips on how to counter Ice Gauntlet so less people cry about it. Because it's actually not that crazy if you know how to counter it. It's really not. All right, so if I try to avoid heavy. If I do this, it's very easily avoidable. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying a good player is going to avoid it more than not. Right? You guys see that? It's very difficult to land an Ice Gauntlet heavy if someone's jumping out of your route, because you don't know where they're gonna go. And if you aren't aiming at them and they stay in place, then you're gonna miss. Missing on purpose? I'm not missing on purpose. And once again, I'm not saying it's impossible to land either. I'm just saying it's hard to land. But even if you land a heavy, you can still just jump out of it, by the way. You see that? I just landed a heavy and he just jumped out anyway. So people are basically fucking noobs if you're complaining. That's it, man. That's it. Stop showing people this. I almost want to show people how counterable the Ice Gauntlet is, and it's laughable if you're complaining about it. Like, oh man. You can just jump. You can just jump out of it. By the way, he's playing light armor with no con. This is as squishy as anyone can be, just so you know. I'm not saying it's balanced, guys. I'm saying that if you want to slightly nerf the Ice Gauntlet, go for it. I already gave my blessing for that. Like, go and slightly nerf Ultimate Chill or Energize Critical if you really think it's too OP. But gutting the weapon when it's already so counterable is laughable, man. You land a heavy and you can still jump. You can just jump even if you land a heavy, bro. Yikes. I think the problem is the jumping. So once again, you're proving my point. If you didn't know about the jumping and you're complaining about Ice Gauntlet and you didn't even know you could jump out of it, then it's more of an L2P issue, right? It's more of a, okay, I didn't know that. Now let me just jump out of Ice Gauntlets, but we don't need to nerf it anymore. Now, if you fix jumping out of it, meaning you can't jump out of routes anymore, then I do think Ice Gauntlet would be a little overtuned and you need to nerf it. So we're on the same page in either case, right? Unbelievable. Okay, I get it, but people come from other games where routes work as intended. How can they think you could jump out of a route? Well, my point is, if you didn't know that, now you do. Now you don't have to cry about Ice Gauntlet anymore. If you didn't know about it, then that's fair. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know in the game that I learn every day. You know, I'm not expecting everyone to know everything, but I am expecting an MMO to be primarily balanced around the idea that game knowledge is the predecessor to skill. If you know more about the game, a lot of the times you can do better at the game. If you know less about the game, a lot of the times you're going to do worse at the game. Now, if you don't know something about the game and you're doing poorly, then that's how it should be. And if you know a lot about the game and you're doing well, then that's also how it should be. If you didn't know something, then I'm sorry, you deserve to die. That's it. That's it. Drop the mic. Once again, guys, I don't think I'm being like completely unreasonable either. I think the Ice Gauntlet is powerful, and I think it's OP. That's why I wrote a forum post talking about weapons should feel OP. And if you want to make it a little less OP, then by all means, do some tuning. I'm not saying it's like weak, and I'm not saying it's not strong. I'm not saying that it should be buffed. I'm not saying it shouldn't even be nerfed. If you want to tune it, then tune it. But gutting it is another issue, right?